female gender. Do you need a safe space that is candid, original, and authentic, like the queen you are? Then this is the program for you. Tune in to Real Women, Real Talk with Kiki Okewale on Women Radio 91.7 FM every Friday by 5 p.m. As Kiki Okewale brings on different leading women who will give you a bite into their growth journey and how they beat all odds to become who they are today. Real Women, Real Talk. All right. Good evening, beautiful souls. And yes, it's Eid. It's so weird that I haven't eaten meat today, but don't worry. I was just waiting to hang out with you before I go eat the meat. And I'm waiting for you to call me to come and eat meat because definitely it is that season that we all look forward to. To all our Muslim listeners, I would like to say happy Eid, happy celebration. I pray that the Lord, receive all our prayers, whether you're with family, whether you're with friends, or having a quiet moment of reflection. I am so grateful you're here with me on another episode of Real Women, Real Talk. I'm excited. Tell me, how are you doing? Especially on a night filled with hope, filled with renewal, and the quiet strength that comes with every Eid. It's been raining here. Is it raining on your own part? Is it raining over there? Because it's been pouring, like literally pouring here. So let me ask you something straight. Who are you when the world is silent? Who are you? Who are you when the world is not clapping? Who are you when it kind of looks like nobody's watching? Who are you when you're eating in your room or your safe space? Who are you when you are in your corner? Who are you? Not the you who shines when eyes are on you. I'm not talking about the you that, everybody knows, or where there's lights, where there are people, the kind of person that you are. No, I'm saying, who are you when no one else is watching? Not the you who smiles for the applause. I mean, the you who sit with your thoughts, who wrestles with your doubt, who rises from the struggle when no one is watching. That question is it kind of sounds simple, right? But yet very deep. Who are you when no one sees you? Are you going to still do all those things even when no one else is watching? We live in a time where applause feels like the currency. You're doing things, and even though you don't really know it, it kind of looks like you're doing it for validation. And so you're always trying to pull yourself between, I know why I'm doing this, and yeah, no one clapped for me, no one gave me that award, no one did all of that for me. But the question is, who are you when no one else is watching? Tonight, on this evening of reflection and new beginnings, I want us to remember, and it's very, very important. I want us to remember your worth is not tied to a crowd's chair. And this is so important because every now and then I'm talking to my daughter. I'm saying this. Oh, I've done that and nobody did. And, it's a conversation we need to have with our children, with ourselves. It's a conversation that is very, very important and critical. Because before we know it, it kind of feels like, the things we're doing, we don't even know why we're doing them. And so it's extremely important that you know exactly what you're doing and why you're doing it. So your what isn't tied to a crowd's chair. It's forged in the private moment when you stand with yourself, even if no one else sees. Even if no one else sees it. Tonight is about the quiet power, the kind that doesn't need to shout to be heard. This evening is about who you are
when you are your own witness, when no one else is watching. So I want you to settle in. And yes, I want you to take a deep breath. This is Real Women, Real Talk. And I'm in your space this moment. And I want you to know that you matter. I want you to know that you're heard. I want you to know that you're real. And I would like to remind you, as always, extremely important to always remember that out of over 8 billion people in the world, there is no one else in this world that has got your DNA, that has got your fingerprints. No one has faced your specific combination of challenges, of gifts, of setbacks, of victories. Nobody, I like to say, nobody has a combination of the kind of people you have around you. You are unique, you are special, you are a unique being. And that alone should tell you that your timing is as unique as your fingerprints. And on this program, Real Women, Real Talk, we bring women from different fields, different areas of their life to come and share real life experiences with us. To let us know that, there's nothing we cannot achieve. We are all different in our own unique way. And that's okay. It's okay for us to be different in our own ways. Because, last week I said a woman who trusts her own timing is a woman who cannot be shaken by comparison. And that's just the truth. That is just the truth. So today's topic is actually very deep. I hope that, you would be honest with yourself and ask yourself this deep question, that who are you when no one else is watching? On this program, we help women achieve all-round transformation. And of course, that includes your home, your finance, your health, your emotional well-being, because, we all have to be well-grounded. Now, always remember that you have to get up and make a move, because the world will never see you until you see yourself. And there is absolutely no one that is quite like you. I want you to write that down. I want you to type that. I want you to put it down, that there is absolutely no one quite like me. And that's just the truth. You just have to know it, believe it, and understand that truly, regardless of who you are, what you've got, what you're dealing with, there is no one that is quite like you. And on that note, I'd like you to listen to one of my favorite songs. I know never gonna get enough of this song, because I really, really, really like it. And I feel like it kind of like talks about what we're doing. Yes, thank you for that message. There's absolutely no one quite like you. And that's from Career Expert Coach. Thank you so much for joining. There's absolutely no one quite like you. All right, so let's enjoy Tatiana Manoy's Like You for a bit. Don't go nowhere, because today we are talking about who are you when no one is clapping. It's time for us to be real with ourselves. All right, so enjoy the song with me, Like You by Tatiana Manoy. You gotta get up. You gotta get up and make a move. There's the world see you until you do. No, doesn't really care what you're going through. So you gotta show them, baby. You gotta show them the real you. You gotta give them what you've got. No, don't let them say what you're not, because you are strong. You are wise. You are worth beyond 1,000 reasons why. And you can be perfect, baby. Because no one is perfect, darling. Oh, no, 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 there's nobody in the world like you. Mm, 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 mm. What do you do when you can't? What do you do when you can't let go? And you know nobody knows how you feel. Cause everybody got their own damn problems. And day by day is the struggle. You know you gotta hustle. Just know that you're not alone. You don't always have to be stronger by yourself or by yourself. It's okay to ask for help now. People will find you, but they don't define you. And you will find people find you. You are a work of art. You will find you are a work of art. No. Baby, you are strong. You are wise. Like, did you get the words? Did you get the lyrics? Because that is very, very important. Like, I really felt that. Did you feel it? Because I definitely felt that. You're still listening to Real Women, Real Talk, and I am so glad that you are here. And yes, in case you're enjoying your meat right now, just make sure you send one to me. Make sure. And yes, if you're just joining, I am saying happy holidays to all my Muslim sisters and brothers. Absolutely. So, the question, who are you when no one is clapping? When the spotlight dims? When the crowd quiets and all the applause fades away? Who do you become? That question is heavy, isn't it? Because we live in a world that conditions us to measure our worth by the number of likes, by the praise, by the validation from others. We live in a world where they say when you're doing well, you receive a award. When you don't receive a award, you kind of feel, is it that I'm not doing enough? Is it that I'm not good enough? Is it that I'm not worthy enough? But no, I have come to tell you that that is not true. I know we live in a world that conditions us to measure our worth by the likes, by the praise, by the validation. But what happens when the crowd goes silent? What happens when you're left alone with yourself and your dreams? What happens when you're left with your fears and your true self? It is very, very important for you to know who you are. It is very, very important for you to know who you are. What happens when the crowd just stop cheering? What happens when the one that used to cheer stop cheering? Because we get into this powerful conversation. I'd like to share my quote for the day. The most courageous act is still to think for yourself aloud. And that's from Coco Chanel. I'll take that again. The most courageous act is still to think for yourself aloud. Very, very important. Very, very important. You may not control all the events that happen to you, but you can decide not to be reduced by them. That's from Maya Angelou. You may not control all the events that happens to you, but you can decide not to be reduced by them. If you're just tuning in, welcome to Real Women, Real Talk. My topic for today is, who are you when no one is clapping? And today is one of those days that I really want to hear from you. I want you to phone in. The phone lines are open and the number to call is 07000 917 917. 07000 917 917. We also have a toll-free line for you ladies. It's totally free. You can call on 0800 1235 917. 0800 1235 917, or you can send a text or WhatsApp message to 070 3175 6537. I'd like for you to be a part of the conversation today. Remember, you can also listen via our website, www.wfm917, or download the mobile app, WFM917. So let me ask you, how much of your identity depends on external applause? How much of your identity depends on external applause? How often do you feel you're doing enough only when others say you are? And what does it feel like to face yourself when no one else is watching? I want to start with a story, maybe a familiar one to you. Imagine a woman named Ada. Oh, hidden your name. She's accomplished a lot. A good job, a beautiful home, some recognition in her community. But at night, when the house is quiet, she battles a deep voice inside that whispers, "Are you really enough? Are you just performing for approval?" And that struggle is real because our society trains us to be performers. Our society trains us to create our lives for others, to wear masks that fit the expectations that are placed on us. But this leaves us disconnected from the one relationship that truly matters. Because really, what relationship matters more than the relationship that we have with ourselves? The relationship I have with me. Why does this really matter? Because if your sense of self is tied only to applause, what then happens when the applause stops? And that's a $1 million question. When life throws you curveballs, when the praise dries up, do you crumble? What happens? This is very, very important. A lot of us get distracted when no one else is clapping for us. We don't want to do anything anymore because we haven't built a relationship with ourselves. Do you crumble? Do you feel invisible? Or do you stand firm in the knowledge that your worth is intrinsic? This is the danger of applause, especially when it's an addiction. It's like living life chasing validation, never fully at peace, and constantly exhausted, trying to be what others expect. Whew. And here is the deeper truth I want you to hold on to today. Your identity, your value, your purpose does not depend on anyone else's approval. Let me ask you something. Can you find peace and purpose without applause? And you feel like you're living your best life, even if no one else is clapping for you? Let's get honest about something. We've become addicted to applause. We've become dependent on validation. We've become so used to measuring our worth by external metrics that we have really forgotten how to value ourselves internally. When you wake up in the morning, how do you value yourself? When you see other people, you say, "Oh, you look nice." Do you even give yourself credit? You see other people working hard and you're like, "Oh, you work so hard. I'm so proud of you." When was the last time you told yourself you are proud of yourself? When was the last time you gave yourself a pat on the back? Because guess what? Despite everything that tried to pull you, you're still standing. Despite everything that tried to destroy you, you're still here. And even if no one else is applauding, even if no one else is tapping you at the back and saying, "Well done," have you done that for yourself? With all the traffic, you get out of bed early in the morning Find your way to work with your eyes shut. You leave work in the evening, get home at night, and then you have all those things that you have to do before you go to bed and the routine continues. Have you told yourself, well done? If the world doesn't applaud you, how do you keep going? How do you applaud yourself? We need to stop getting distracted and getting addicted to other people telling us. And it's so funny that, someone told me one time, I said, oh, you're beautiful. And I said, oh, I know. And the person was going to take it as an offense, but I mean no offense. I know I'm beautiful. And I would say that to myself constantly, that when other people say it to me, it's just an add-on. It is not your compliments that keeps me going. But a lot of us can't even look at ourselves and applaud ourselves. We can't clap for ourselves. We've become so dependent on validation. We've become so used to measuring our worth by external metrics that we've forgotten how to value ourselves. Do you know that when I post something on social media, I'm always the first to like? How many times have you posted something on social media and then obsessively checked for likes? If you cannot even like your own picture, why are you looking for other people's likes? You will not find a post that I post on my personal page that doesn't have my own like on it. And it might look like something so trivial, something so simple, something so funny. But listen, I'm going to clap for myself. I am going to clap for myself. I'm going to applaud myself. I'm going to be my number one cheerleader. Because if no one else is cheering me, then what? I have to be that one for myself. So how many times have you made a decision based on what others will think rather than what felt right for you? How many times have you dimmed your light just so that you can make other people comfortable? Or brightened it to get their attention? Because again, a lot is happening. We've created versions of ourselves that we think others want to see. That perfect wife, the successful career woman, the devoted mother, the supportive friend. And while all these roles are beautiful, they become dangerous when they become our entire identity. Because if they strip all of these things away, who are you? If they strip the wife, if they strip the mother, if they strip the career woman, if they strip that supportive friend, who are you? Do you even know who you are? What's your purpose here on earth? A lot of us are living lives based on what people think we should be, who we should be. But who are you? Like I said, the roles are beautiful. They're amazing. But that's not who you are. Those are just roles. Who are you? Here's what happens when you live for applause. You start to lose yourself in the performance because it's like you're acting a script. You begin to mistake the role for the person. You begin to mistake that role for the person. And I know this is actually very, very important. You start to believe that who you are is only valid when it's being witnessed and approved by others. But what happens when the applause suddenly stops? What happens when you're alone with your thoughts? What happens when you strip away all the roles, all the performances, all the ways you've learned to be acceptable to others? Kemi, who are you then? Funke, who are you then? Chioma, who are you? Aisha, who are you? Kiki, who are you? This is the question that terrifies most of us because we've been so busy being who others needed us to be that we've forgotten who we actually are. Some of you are nodding right now because you recognize yourself in this struggle. You've been the good girl. the people pleaser, the one who never rocks the boat. You've been so busy making everyone else comfortable that you've forgotten what makes you comfortable. Others have seen you as the achiever, the overachiever, the one who's always reaching out for the next level of success because you believe your worth is tied to your accomplishment. You've been so busy doing that, you've forgotten how to just be. And some of you have been the caretaker, the one who's so focused on everyone else's need that you've forgotten that you have needs too. You've been so busy filling everyone else's cup that you've forgotten to fill your own cup. Am I talking to you today? But here's the beautiful truth. Underneath all these roles, underneath all these performances, underneath all these ways you've learned to be acceptable to the world, there is a woman who is magnificent, just as she is. And that woman is you. She doesn't need to perform to be valuable. She doesn't need to achieve to be worthy. She doesn't need to please everyone to be lovable. She just needs to be herself. It is time for you to be yourself. I don't know if you've ever found yourself in this position, and maybe you'd like to phone in and share it so that we can all learn from you. The phone lines are open, and the number to call is 07000 917 917. 07000 917 917. And you can call our toll-free line for ladies, 0800 1235 917. 0800 1235 917. You can also send a text message, a WhatsApp message, or even drop a comment wherever you're watching this. Welcome back. We are still talking about discovering who you are when no one else is clapping, when the world isn't watching, when the world doesn't see what you're doing, when you are just you. Now, let me share something personal with you. There was a period in my life when I realized I had become a stranger to myself. I was so busy being who everyone else needed me to be that I had no idea who I was when the cameras weren't rolling. And as I grew up, I realized that I had the savior syndrome. Maybe because at a very young age, I'd lost my father. I had to grow up so early in life. At the age of 11, when I lost my father, of course, I had to grow up so fast. I stopped being a child. Because guess what? I had brothers to take care of. I had even my mom to care for, to make sure that she's okay. I had myself to care for. I had cooking to do. I had washing to do. I had so many things to do. And along the line, from a child who was a spoiled child, I became that child that wanted to take care of everyone else. You'll be fine. You'll be okay. And gradually, I always wanted to help people. I always wanted to save people. And this is not to say that helping people is bad. But what about you? What about me? I matter. I am important. I am worthy. And yes, it's awesome to be that person that people want to call, but not to your detriment. And so I realized that I was becoming people pleasing. And the days I couldn't do it, I would feel guilty. I would feel so bad. Sometimes I would have sleepless nights. I would feel that this person must have thought this of me, must have thought, even when I couldn't truly afford to be there for that person. It doesn't mean I haven't been there before, but I became a people pleaser. I had the savior syndrome. I was so busy being who everyone else needed me to be that I had no idea who I was. I remember sitting in my car after a particularly successful event, feeling empty despite all the praise that I had received, despite all the hugs, despite all the, oh my God, you've inspired me, you've encouraged me, I'm going to be this, I'm going to do that. People were telling me how amazing I was, how inspiring, how put together. But inside, I felt hollow. I felt empty. I realized I had become addicted to their validation because I'd stopped validating myself. That night, I asked myself a question, changed everything. Kiki, who are you when no one is clapping? And you know what? I didn't have an answer. I'd become so used to defining myself by others people's reaction that I'd lost touch with my own inner voice. When somebody sees you and says, who are you? Introduce yourself. How do you introduce yourself? The question sounds so simple. Introduce yourself, and you start with all the roles. Oh, my name is this, I am this, I do that, I am yeah. But who are you outside of these roles? Because that's who you really are. And when I started the journey of becoming, I came back home to myself, of discovering the woman who exists beyond the applause, beyond the approval, beyond the constant need to prove ourselves worthy. Because I know that I am worthy, regardless of whether you clap for me or not, whether you see me or not. I see myself. I applaud myself. I honor my existence. I am grateful for the gift to be here. And what I found was beautiful. I found a woman who was kind, not because others expected her to be, but because kindness was part of her nature. I found a woman who was strong, not because she had to be for others, but because strength was a natural state. I found a woman who was worthy of love, not because she had earned it through performance, but because love was her birthright. But here is what this journey taught me. Finding yourself when no one is clapping requires courage. It requires you to sit with discomfort. It requires you to face the part of yourself you've been hiding, even from yourself. It means asking yourself the hard questions. What do I actually enjoy? Not what do I think I should enjoy. What are my real values and not the ones I adopted to fit in? What do I actually want from life? Not what others want for me. And it's time for you to ask yourself these questions. And I know they might be uncomfortable. What do I actually enjoy? What do I actually enjoy? Not what I think I should enjoy. What are my real values? Not the ones I've adopted to fit in. What do I actually want from life? Not what others want for me. I hope you really got that down. Did you get that down? Do you want me to retake it? I'll take that again. What do I actually enjoy? Not what do I think I should enjoy. What do you enjoy? What do you enjoy? What do you as a person enjoy? Can you answer that question? Can you be truthful to yourself? What are your real values? Not the ones you have adopted to fit in. What are your real values? What do you actually want from life? Not what others want for you. It means getting comfortable with the silence. It means getting comfortable with the stillness. It means getting comfortable with the sound of your own thoughts without the distraction of external noise. Do you know that there are some people that cannot stay 1 hour with themselves by themselves alone? They have to be around people. There's some people they cannot spend time. You have to get comfortable with the silence. You have to get comfortable with the stillness. You have to get comfortable with the sound of your own thoughts without the distraction of external noise. It means learning to validate yourself. It means learning to appreciate your own effort. It means learning to celebrate your own growth. It means learning to love yourself. When especially when no one else is watching. I really cannot overemphasize on how important this is, so I'll take it again. It means learning to validate yourself. It means learning to appreciate your own effort. It means learning to celebrate your own growth. It means learning to love yourself, especially when no one else is watching. And yes, Anna, I see you. Anna says, Anna, get comfortable with silence. Thank you, Anna, for that. I like how Anna actually put her name. She's speaking to herself. Anna says, Anna, get comfortable with silence. And yet it's extremely, extremely important for you to get comfortable with silence. To be able to validate yourself. To be able to appreciate your own effort. To be able to celebrate your own growth. It is extremely important. And it's very important for us to know that these things actually do matter. This is not selfish. This is essential. Because a woman who knows herself is a woman who cannot be manipulated by the opinions of others. I'll take that again. A woman who knows herself is a woman who cannot be manipulated by the opinions of others. A woman who validates herself is a woman who cannot be controlled by the withholding of validation from others. Because guess what? When people feel that if they don't, applaud you, it affects you, it makes you feel sad, then I can tell you for free, they're going to withdraw it. They're going to withhold the validation. So a woman who validates herself is a woman who cannot be controlled or manipulated when people withhold their validation. And I want us to be honest about something. This journey is always, always uncomfortable. There will be moments when you discover things about yourself that really surprise you. There will be times when you realize you've been living someone else's life for so long that you have forgotten what your own life looks like. You might discover that the career you've been pursuing isn't actually what you want. You might realize that the relationship you've been maintaining isn't actually serving you. You might find that the version of yourself you've been presenting to the world isn't actually who you are. And that's okay. It's nothing to be ashamed of. That is not failure. That is awakening. That is awakening. And that is so important When you realize that, oh my God, I now know who I am. I now know who I represent. I now know why I'm here. You might discover that the career you're pursuing isn't actually what you want. And that's okay. The woman you are when no one is clapping might be different from the woman you've been presenting to the world. She might be quieter or louder. She might be more creative or more analytical. She might be more adventurous or more content with simple pleasures. She might have dreams you've never shared with anyone. She might have interests you've never explored. She might have a voice you have never even heard. But she's real, she's authentic, and she is you. She's you. And that's what really matters. And she doesn't need anyone's permission to exist. She doesn't need anyone's approval to be valuable. She doesn't need anyone's applause to be worthy. She just needs you to acknowledge her. You, Anna, acknowledge Anna. Acknowledge Anna. Aisha, acknowledge Aisha. Fumi, acknowledge Fumi. Doing, acknowledge doing. Chioma, acknowledge yourself. Honor yourself. Give yourself space to breathe and grow and become. Here's what I want you to understand. The applause will come and it will go. The validation will be there one day and gone the next. The opinions of others will shift like the wind. But you, the real you, the authentic you, the you that actually exists when no one is clapping, you are constant. You are steady and you are home. Some of you are afraid to discover who you really are because you think she might not be enough. You think she might not be as impressive as the version you've been performing. You think she might not be as lovable as the version you've been presenting to the world. But what if I told you that the opposite is true? What if the real you is more magnificent than any version you could perform? What if authenticity is more attractive than perfection? What if being real is more powerful than being impressive? The woman you are, when no one else is clapping, is the woman you were created to be. She's the woman who will change the world in ways that only she can. She's the woman who will change the world in ways no one else can. She is the woman who will love in ways that only her can love. She's the woman who will contribute to this world in ways only she can. Because there's a reason why God has not mass produced us. There's a reason why we all don't look the same. We all have the value that we want to bring to the world. There's a reason why you were created. There's a uniqueness in you that only you can bless the world with. There's something inside of you that only you can give. And you're shortchanging the world. You're shortchanging yourself. You're doing a disservice to the world. You're doing a disservice to yourself when you deprive yourself and the world of your greatness. You can't do any of this if you are hidden behind the performance. You can't impact the world if you're too busy trying to impress the world. So I would ask you again, who are you when no one else is clapping? Who are you? Who do you want to be? Who were you created to be? Do you still do the things that you do? They see you and they say, oh, she's kind. Are you kind when no one else is watching? They see you and they say she's a giver. Do you still give when no one else is watching? When no one else is clapping? Because if you're just doing all of those things so that the world can see and applaud you, then we've missed it. And there's a thin line between both. And I know it can be difficult. I know this topic is very deep. I know these questions are very difficult. But for us to be fulfilled at the long run, we need to ask ourselves these questions. One time I was talking to a lady who lost her husband, a widow. And I think she came on the radio program. And you know, I asked her, I said, how did she feel when that title of wife was stripped off? She said she lost a sense of identity. When people ask her, are you married? She didn't even know if she should say, I'm single, I'm a widow, I'm married. She said she had lost a sense of identity. She said she had lived her life, everything around my husband and my wife, that suddenly she didn't even know who she should be anymore. It is so important that we understand and identify who we are. And as we come to the end of today's topic, I want you to take a moment to sit with this question. Who are you when no one is clapping? Not who you think you should be. Not who others expect you to be. Not who you've been performing to be. Who are you really? In the quiet moments, in the still hours, in the spaces between the noise of daily life. Who is the woman who emerges? I want you to get curious about her. I want you to get excited about meeting her. I want you to create space for her to exist, to speak, to become. And that's why my journey, you know, I always like to describe it as the becoming. The audacious one. Start small. Spend time alone without distraction. It's okay to spend time with yourself. Love yourself enough to be able to spend time with you. Do you know I crack jokes with myself? And I myself will laugh. If I can't laugh to my jokes, why would I expect others to laugh to it? I would crack jokes. I would smile. I would spend time with me. I have my me moments. And I know I've talked about this so many times on radio. How my kids know that, you know, when mommy is having a me moment. Because I matter. Because these children will grow up, go to their spouse's house. And guess what? I will be left with myself saying that I can't live a life without them. And when they are ready to go, when I was ready to go, I'm not sure there was anything my mother could do to hold me back. So why then do we surround ourselves with all these things and feel like we shouldn't have our own identity? So start small. Spend time alone without distraction. Ask yourself what you actually enjoy. Notice what makes you feel alive when no one else is watching. Pay attention to the thoughts that come up when you're not performing for anyone. Journal about it, meditate on it, pray about it. However you connect with your deepest self, make time for that connection. And here is what I promise you. The woman you discover when no one else is clapping will be more beautiful, will be more powerful, will be more magnificent than any version you could ever perform. Because guess what? You are authentic. And that woman is worthy of love, not because of what she does, but because of who she is. She is valuable, not because of what she has achieved or what she achieves, but because she exists. Your existence is proof that you are valuable. She is enough, not because she's perfect, but because she's real. Stop performing your life and start living it. Stop seeking applause and start seeking authenticity. Stop trying to be who others want you to be and start being who you actually are. You are a woman, a real, authentic, magnificent woman. I'll take that again so you can write it down. I, Kiki, I am a woman, a real, authentic, magnificent, beautiful, audacious, courageous. I don't know what you want to put in yours, but I'm that woman. I am worthy of love. I am worthy of respect. I am worthy of celebration, just as I am. Stop waiting for the world to applaud you and start appreciating yourself. Stop seeking validation from others and start validating yourself. Stop performing for an audience and start living for yourself. The most beautiful version of you is the real version of you. The most beautiful version of you is the authentic version of you. The most lovable version of you is the genuine version of you. She exists. She's been waiting for you to acknowledge her. She's been hoping you would stop hiding behind the performances and start celebrating her for who she is. Who are you when no one else is clapping? You, yes, you, listening to me right now. You're magnificent. You are enough and you are worthy. Just as you are worthy. Thank you so much for joining me today on Real Women Real Talk. This is the space where we remind each other that we don't just exist to please others. We exist to be authentic, beautifully, powerfully ourselves. I want you to keep discovering who you are. I want you to keep honoring your authentic self. I want you to keep believing that the real you is worthy of love and of celebration. This program is brought to you by What Tribe? What Tribe is a community of women who come together. We inspire each other, we empower each other, we shine the light on each other. We have masterclasses, training, we inspire, and we just, want every woman to win. It's a free community. I'd like to invite you today to join our community. You can find us on Facebook, WHATRYBE, What Tribe, WHATRYBE. You can equally find us on Instagram, WHATRYBE. So when you're spelling tribe, just remove the I and put the Y. And I can assure you that you've got a whole lot to learn and nothing to lose. Until next time, beautiful souls, remember, you don't need applause for you to be valuable. You don't need validation to be worthy. You don't need an audience to be amazing. You just need to be you. So keep being real. Your authentic power is your power. All right. So I'm going to leave you with the song All the Love by Ira Star. But before I go, I'd like to say a very big thank you to everyone who's listening, to Anna for your comments. Thank you so very much. I'd like to say thank you to everyone who listened all through the program. A very big thank you to my family members for always encouraging me, my staff, my team members for always supporting me. I'd also like to say a very big thank you to my producer, Rose Yusuf Kaisa, my executive producer, Tomo Kewale Shonaya, and my executive assistant, Rosemary Ben Bassi. Thank you so much for making this happen on a weekly basis. I appreciate you so much. Join us again next week, Friday at exactly 5 p.m. on Real Women Real Talk with Kiki Okewale. I am Kiki Okewale. Make sure you enjoy the rest of your evening. And yes, don't forget to go eat that meat. I'm running out now to go eat salad meat. Yes, it's always so yummy. All right, enjoy the rest of your evening. Enjoy your weekend. Make sure you stay safe, stay blessed, and stay happy. Bye for now. All right. Thank you so much for joining everyone on Instagram, on YouTube, on LinkedIn. That was me on radio, Women Radio 91.7. I'm on radio every Friday at 5 p.m. Please make sure you always join me. Thank you so much, Anna. Your comments kept me going and really encouraged me. I look forward to, seeing you on my live again next week, Friday. Till then, stay safe, stay happy, and enjoy your weekend. Bye.